there are so many reasons why I got into teaching.
One of the best things is the light bulb moment.
When you see a pupil suddenly understand something, that's really, really special.
Every child is so full of potential, and the thing that makes me proudest to be a teacher is seeing them realise what they are capable of.
I don't think any other job can give you the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search Apply to Teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You were listening to Gamer Tag Radio with your hosts Godfrey, Pete Rock, Parris, Poster. Come on.
Welcome to Gamer Tag Radio, episode 510. This is your host, Danny, a.k.a. Godfrey. And this week we have Pete. Pete, what's up? You're mute.
I'm muted.
I can hear you.
Damn it.
Oh, got him.
I'm good.
Now I can hear you. Go for it.
I'm good. What's up, man?
Oh, good. And also we have Pawson J. Pawson, what's up?
Doing good, guys. How about you guys?
Good. Hey, this is my favorite part of the show. You know why?
We just started?
That too. It's actually, again, questions from the listeners. Love it. And last week we had a blast. We had a lot of questions. And this week we have a couple too, man. So and also Parris is going to be reviewing the new Transformers for the PC.
Devastation.
Yes, so we're going to be playing that later on during this episode. So head over to gamertagradio.com or play.it. Listen to our past episodes or give us a call, 786-273-7GTR. That's 786-273-7GTR. Or email us, fanmail@gamertagradio.com. And P, are you ready? Because I'm going to play the part right now. You ready?
Which part?
Fan mail.
Fan mail at gamertagradio.com.
Fan mail.
Oh, he's back. P is back. So we have questions, guys, or what?
Oh, we got a handful of questions. So, yeah, we got some stuff.
All right, so look, while you guys are looking for some emails, because we have a couple emails here, I'm going to play this voicemail. And let's play it right now. Let's see what we have to say.
Hey, what's going on, Gamer Tag Radio? How you guys doing? This is Keon calling from Baltimore. Just wanted to say briefly, I just finished listening to the most recent podcast where you guys were saying that you were going to be doing 2 shows a week. I think you have answered some of my dreams, buddy. I'm greatly appreciative that you guys are going to extend the content. I'm a huge fan of the show. I love listening to you guys debate or, talk about a review or, your different takes on, what's going on in the industry. So I'll definitely be supporting that. I think that's excellent. But I have to ask you guys a question, and I'm kind of a guy that likes to look, behind the scenes just to see how things operate. Now, I don't know if you want to answer this, Danny. I understand if you don't want to, or your crew, that is, as well. But out of curiosity, how do you guys actually go about setting up the interviews with the different people that you've interviewed? Because you guys have had some very huge names on your show. So I'm just curious, do you do it by email? Do you do it by phone call, Skype? I'm just curious because I know it's a lot of legwork. And, I always like to peer, through the, behind the curtain just to see. Hopefully I'm not getting too personal, but just curious. That's all. Thank you very much for what you guys do. And once again, as always, you guys have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.
First of all, thanks for that voicemail. It was cool. Love it when people call in or send us emails. Remember, call us or email us anytime. Well, here's the thing. We do a lot of traveling. So we've been networking with a lot of PRs or developers, or we also have friends that work in the gaming industry. So there's ways for us to get an interview. If we're in person, of course, we talk and stuff. Or if anything, we also send emails. We have a lot of contacts that we've been getting throughout the years and stuff. So that's what we do. We email the company and to see if they're willing to do an interview or not. Sometimes it's really, really hard, man, because maybe it's like way too early, or they're too busy, or they just don't want to talk at all. So we'll try our best to contact a lot of people to see if they're willing to talk about whatever behind the scenes stuff, or about the game, about the product. So it's really, really cool. But we do a lot of work behind the scenes, man. A lot of work. So and look, Pawson and Pete, they've been with us, like the whole part of the crew, for years, and they know how it is behind the scenes with getting these interviews and stuff. And it's really tough. Really tough. So, but Pete, you want to say anything else about that question? How we get these interviews behind the scenes?
It's social I wouldn't say social network, but it's a lot of networking, getting the confidence of the marketing or community development managers, and getting the trust that you're not just going to review the game, but you're going to give it an honest review, because you have that responsibility to your listeners. And if possible, provide feedback. I mean, there's been instances where we've done reviews. Me personally, I remember doing a review a couple of years ago of Saints Row and going back and forth with the PR to let them know of issues that were occurring, so that it wouldn't negatively affect potential reviews by other people, so that way they could head that off, or maybe find a fix for that before the reviews went out. So it's a responsibility you need to put in your time. And it's just, luck sometimes.
And not only that, companies also contact us though too. Like we're in a normal day, just doing our thing, and we get an email, hey, we'd like to invite you to an event, or we'd like to promote our product on your podcast. Is that possible? So, a lot of people know about us. So that's a good thing about that too. So Pawson, anything else before we go to the next question?
No, just it really feels stressful interviewing some of those high-end people. But that's how you get better. I mean, you get the jitters, and then you just get into the motion of it, and it comes naturally. And that's what I like. Every time I get to do a really cool interview with someone that I either respect or admire, or I just find out about them for this time, they turn out to be an amazing person to talk to. I'm always impressed by how well some of these people come off. Because we have that relaxed environment on GTR. We're not asking very strict back and forth softball questions. We're making them feel comfortable. We're asking them, how they feel about what they do. And that to me is why it's fun. It's just so unlike typical interviews that I hear in other places. That's why I enjoy doing them so much. So it's a blast. And we have a lot of cool stuff on the horizon. I'm looking forward to many more fun interviews in the future for sure.
We got some cool ones coming up, man. So, hey, you guys want to read this question titled Podcasting? Want to go with that?
I think that was... Okay, you want me to do it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. This one's from Brock Smith. Shout out Brock. He's like, what up, hello gamers? I have to start out by saying I listen to many podcasts, and this one is in my top favorites list. Well, thanks, man. I am jazzed that I get to listen twice a week now. We're jazzed to do it twice a week. I enjoy the dynamic you all have with each other. It keeps things very entertaining. Now, I have an off-topic question. You guys are big time. It's maybe hard to remember back when you guys were podcast simpletons, but try to remember, because as a podcast simpleton myself, I would appreciate some advice. I recently started a podcast, just looking for suggestions, whether it be about structure of a cast, recording equipment, software, just anything that would help improve the quality of a podcast. Suggestions about recording and getting a higher quality audio would also be helpful as well. Thanks. He says, shout out to the PC Master Race from Brock. He's also now the host of the Nerdsophical podcast. So philosophical nerd talk. That sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool, right? See, I think the most important thing besides equipment and audio quality, because if you listen to like older episodes, the quality was pretty bad. But the thing that was really, really good about our podcast was because the passion, having the right people on your team. Like, the good thing about us, we are good friends, but we also have disagreements. Like there's stuff that I don't agree with when P is talking about a game that he likes. I don't like it, or it brings up like a lot of great topics. I think once we sit down and talk about it on our podcast, and it's very entertaining because some of the listeners might take my side or they might take Pete's side. You know what I'm saying? And they will email us attacking me. No, Godfrey, Pete was right. You know, like things like that. It's cool. You know, so having the right people that have different type of opinions, I think that's like great for the podcast. That's like a must. And also, I think that is very, very important before you invest getting audio equipment and stuff like that. Try your best to go to an event like PAX. You don't have to get a media badge for an event like that. Invest on going to all these events locally or outside of your area, and just meet people, meet companies like from different PRs and developers, that especially independent developers, that they're dying to talk to, like either a small website, small podcast, because they want to promote their product, their game to the masses, you know. So I think that's very, very important. And just have fun, be patient, don't worry about numbers at all, because if you start looking at these numbers when you start, it's gonna make you not podcast at all, you know. So just have fun, be patient. If you have a PC, what do you recommend for like a great audio software for recording?
If you're starting off, you know, just to get your feet in the water, I would probably go with Audacity.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a really good backup feature in case something does happen to go wrong.
We've used it, and it works.
We've used it, and it works, and it allows you to recover audio even though the application has been closed. And there's been instances where we've used it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say that would be your best. Maybe invest in a better mic. You'd be surprised at how much the audio quality improves when going from just a standard $20 headset mic from Best Buy, and then switching to like a Shure or, you know, another mic. And I think Danny will probably be able to give you a better idea as to whether to go condenser versus, you know, any other kind of mic. Other than that, learn your craft.
Yes.
You know, listen to other shows, see what works, see what you listen to, and you know, try not to stick to just video game shows if that's what you're interested in doing, or try to vary the topic of the shows that you listen to so that you get different perspectives and different things. I've kind of changed and it's just me personally, it may not always work for other people, but I've changed the way I interview people based on listening to other interviews that other people do, not necessarily Danny or Pawson or Parris. It helps because you get to see a different perspective. It's like, you know, you could always go to those same 3 questions, the how, who, what, where, whatever. But I try to hit those. I try to get questions that'll get the interviewee to talk. You know, maybe sometimes it may sound controversial or maybe different, but if I try to catch them off guard and get them to talk about stuff that's opposite of what we're actually talking about, sometimes you get them to open up and then you get more discussion stuff.
Mm-hmm. And listen, very, very important.
Listen to use the audio cues that they give you to keep branching off from there into other discussions. It helps, especially when you've got a limited amount of time or a limited set of questions that you may have prepared for. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they may answer them with 1 or 2, you know, sentences, but sometimes you can build off of what they've said.
True. And Pawson, very quick.
I just think the key is to make it organic. You know, think of it as you're having a conversation with a buddy of yours, but it's someone you haven't met yet, and treat it as you're trying essentially to make like a new friend. For me, I like to take a lot of inspiration from some of, like, you know, the late night talk shows out there. Specifically, you know, if you want to look at people like Stephen Colbert or Trevor Noah, who are comedians by trade, to be fair, but the way they make guests feel comfortable, the way they engage them as people, the way they ask them questions and, you know, respond and use bits of how their answers to turn that into a next question. It's, you know, you don't want to make it feel like a robotic, purely technological conversation back and forth, especially if you're interviewing someone about pure hardware or pure software questions. You want to bridge that into, you know, how does that relate to my life? How does it relate to your life? How that relates to, the listener's life who might be interested in this product or this service? So I think it's all just, as both Danny and Pete have said, it's listening to other people, taking in their styles and forming your own, because you're never going to find success just perfectly copying someone else's formula. It's all about inspiration and finding a way to get your message out there in the way that you can do. Because, I feel like if you have the drive to even start a podcast, you kind of have an idea in your head of what you want the end product to sound like. So then it's all up to you to take that feedback, the criticism, and basically be your own worst critic to get yourself to the level that you want to perform at. And that's all just comes from practice and, again, just taking good cues from, as we've said, from the people you're talking to. And that's most important, I would say.
Your season-long fantasy football team may be going strong, but you don't have to wait until week 16 to get paid. Put your fantasy skills to the test every week this season at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. With 1 week fantasy, there are no season-long commitments. Got an injured player? No problem. It's like a new season every week, so you're never stuck with the same players. And get this, DraftKings is crowning a new millionaire every week with this season. That means you could turn your love of football into the payday of a lifetime. Just pick your players, pile up the points, pick up your cash. That's it. Believe me, you've never experienced football like this before. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time. Folks, we've been saying it all season. DraftKings.com is a fantastic site. You don't have to be locked into a season-long fantasy football league. Every week is a new opportunity to win cash. So hurry to DraftKings.com now. Use promo code GamerTag and play for free with your first deposit in this Sunday's $1 million fantasy football contest, where first place takes home $100,000. Enter GamerTag for free entry now, only at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
All right, Pete, next question. You want to read the local co-op gaming question?
Actually, I would. I was actually interested in that one. So this one is from Alan Roden. Hey, guys, love the show. I'll always agree to more show. The more, the better. But I'd also like it if everyone was there for both shows. So, hey, congratulations. You got that in the last show. I do have a question. How do you guys feel about games coming out today eliminating couch co-op playability? I feel it shows extreme neglect for what gamers want. For example, I, for one, have played through more games with my wife than I could count. Right now, we're playing through the Halo Master Chief Collection. Resident Evil 5, I feel, is one of the best couch co-op games ever created. And with Halo 5 eliminating it, I think it may look grim for future titles, and it makes me extremely unhappy. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with him. But there is games out there that still has that split screen co-op type of experience. Like Forza, the new Forza 6. Yes, you could play online, but you also could play co-op, not co-op, but like a split screen type game. And not only that too, there are certain games that I feel that it doesn't need that type co-op game experience. Like, look, I played Until Dawn with my girlfriend, and that's a one-player experience, but we were both playing together and analyzing things that we were finding throughout the game and stuff. And we'll like talk like, man, what's going to happen next? And who's going to die? Or, it's like there's certain games I think that it doesn't need that two-player co-op experience, But, I was a little unhappy that 343 took that option off for that feature on Halo 5. And, I don't know. I want to see the final product, I'm not going to trash it or anything like that because we haven't seen the actual game and stuff. But, yeah, I think there's games like, Rock Band that still you could play, more than two players there, So hopefully in the future we'll see more games like that, because I think it's important, that you have to also think about, like, say, the husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, or even the father or mother playing with their kids. I think that would be a great thing too. Or maybe with your friends pass by, you guys want to play together, So, yeah.
See, that's my thing is like, I totally agree that it's a bummer that, he can't play games with his wife. A Master Chief Collection is fun, but then, it's like, man, I wish we could continue Master Chief storyline. I guess we'll take turns watching each other play Halo 5. That's just not exciting. But for me, that biggest thing is in the friends playing with you at your house. I mean, that to me is kind of one of the reasons I'm still into games to this day, is having so many good memories from middle school, from high school, from college, getting together and playing with buddies. Because, a lot of my friends locally, just stopped being into games, at least hardcore wise, in terms of, I mean by that, they don't purchase the $400 systems anymore. That's kind of left to people like us who are still hardcore. This is our primary hobby. We love doing this. We love talking about it. But a lot of other people, they just kind of want to play with a friend. So, I've played all the Halo games with my high school friends. And now it's gotten the situation where I'm kind of not even really, keeping them up to date with Halo 5 because there's no point in getting them excited in a game that they're going to come over and watch me play, and then I'll watch them play and vice versa and switching off. That's not fun. And I like that you brought up Resident Evil 5. I loved Resident Evil 5 immensely. I thought it was a very fun split-screen game. Obviously, besides not being a very, very good Resident Evil game, it was a wonderful friend game. It was designed to have two buddies together having a great time. And I'm just worried about the future of that genre. So yes, you're right, Danny. There are still party games like Rock Band designed around group entertainment. But for me, I think the biggest casualty is going to be the first-person shooter, which I think was one of the first innovators in that field. I mean, certainly Halo's 4-player split screen sold a lot of original Xboxes. And I'm worried that this mentality that, hardcore gaming is now adapt or die. It's, you either pay the Xbox Live Gold, you buy the $400 system, you buy the $60 game, or, go play League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm or Dota for free on your PC. That's now becoming the option. So you're moving towards free games instead.
I have to argue with you. I'm going to have to disagree with you because there's a lot of games out on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 as well that do things like that. Rayman Legends is an amazing example of co-op fun that doesn't have to be Twitch response shooter for, or split screen at all. You can both play in a game. And God knows it's been me, my wife, my daughter, and my son on the couch playing Rayman Legends for hours because it's fun, stupid hilariousness nonstop. And then you've got other opportunities like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
Oh, yes. Great game.
If you want to go back to the Xbox 360, and now with the backwards compatibility, I'm hoping that maybe that could transfer over. Castle Crashers was a great opportunity.
Castle Crashers, it is out for the Xbox
One now.
Even better. Battle Block Theater, same people, Behemoth. Great game. A lot of fun. Guacamelee. Another great fun, game. And that was actually free for a while on Xbox Live.
Rare Replay.
There's a great opportunity there. My daughter really, really digs Charlie Murder. She plays that with her friends as well. So there's opportunities. There's chances out there. You just got to go out and look and take them. The Rabbids series from Ubisoft. There's another one, Alien Hominid. That's going back a while back as well. But there's stuff out there that you can play, co-op couch play. One that's actually one of the games that I'm looking forward to once I do pick up my PlayStation 4 is Nidhogg. That game is ridiculous stupidity fun.
I love Nidhogg.
It's so much fun and it's so addicting, and it's something that me and my wife have sat and played. We played it last year at Extra Life United for money, to raise funds for Extra Life in front of a crowd of people. Awesome. And it's just so much fun. There are games out there. It doesn't have to be a Halo or it doesn't have to be a Call of Duty.
Oh, I know.
And I know it sounds weird coming from my mouth, especially.
Very much.
But there are games out there that do resonate, and they are couch co-op games.
No, well said, Pete. I have played Rayman with friends. I played Castle Crashers with friends. Those are great memories. But I guess I was more talking to his point when he was using Resident Evil and Halo as references because for me, I love playing casually games with my friends, having a good time, but I also like the more serious ones where I'm sitting down with a buddy and we're starting the strategy talk. It's like, all right, I'll flank this way. You lay down suppressing fire. And, that to me is just more fun with someone right next to you as opposed to just doing that online with people. And, I love playing online with people. I've been doing it for years. But I just think there's something to be said about that powerful bond of friendship that comes from, two buddies fighting a war together, a la Gears of War. Perfect example. I'm still having just as much fun playing Gears Ultimate online because I can do split screen. I was actually surprised by that, which was sad because it's something that I, assumed was commonplace in 2006. I was shocked that it was still in the 2015 version. It's like, oh, I can still play online with two people and they don't both need Xbox Live Gold accounts. Like some games I will not mention, and I hate them for that. I'm worried about that genre because I think, the I don't want to call them casual, but the family-friendly, fun games for everybody on the same screen, they're fine. We're going to have plenty more of them. I don't think that genre is in any danger of being hurt by this. I was just more concerned about the shooter genre because I have a lot of good memories of playing with friends, and that used to be, 4 players at a time, and then it became 2 players at a time, and now it's becoming 1 player at a time. And that, to me, doesn't get me excited. And I think Halo 5 is probably the best example I can point to, whereas I know I'm going to enjoy it playing with you guys online. I'm going to enjoy playing Warzone and Arena and the single player, but it's just, I'm not looking forward to breaking the news to my buddies who have always played Halo with me for 10 years that, oh, sorry, we can't play together anymore. Because, I know you're not going to go buy a $400 Xbox, but it's like, we'll take turns and make the best of it. So that, to me, is the bummer. I really hope that 343's decision is not indicative of the industry turning as a whole. Because I know other, like Star Wars Battlefront, it has split screen.
Yeah,
that's good.
I was going to say that.
Black Ops 3 will have split screen. That's good. I hope that Halo 5 is in the minority here. And I really hope 343 has its eye opens because of this, because I know we've beaten this horse to death. I know they made statements on this, but I really do think they're going to be surprised by their sales numbers on day one and the feedback they'll receive from people turning those games back in because they don't have split screen. Right. I think they still are underestimating the people that play locally with friends. But clearly that might be the minority. It's hard to tell anymore because we're on a podcast and we're kind of an echo chamber sometimes with this kind of stuff. So yeah, if there are other people that are like, not buying Halo 5 because of lack of split screen, give us an email so I have some indication of if I have any legs to stand on this argument. Am I alone in this?
I don't think I am.
But that is a bummer to me.
I will have another question here. I have another one. This is
Go for it.
This is dedicated to Parris and Pete. It's about the Taken King episode by Steven. Shout out to Steven. Love your show, but I have to say I was a little disappointed with the Taken King episode. I know Pete and Parris love Destiny, but the episode came off very like, quote unquote, as sponsored by Bungie. I'm all for people enjoying games, even if I don't share their view. But it feels like it could have addressed the criticism and their thoughts on issues such as removed content from those that didn't upgrade it to the Taken King. I would love to hear their opinion on other subjects other than a 45-minute on why I should buy the Taken King. Anyway, I hope this comes across as a constructive criticism rather than me trying to be an ass. I love listening to all 4 of you, and I hope this two shows a week works out, as I hate waiting a whole week to listen. And in my opinion, the most balanced gaming podcast out there. Well, thank you, Steven. Pete, I know Parris is not here, but go for it, man. We have to say
him.
You should have read this last show. I think we didn't address removed content because we had already discussed things like that on past shows. Mm-hmm. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I thought we did. I thought we may have covered that already as well when we spoke with Deej. Those things, that's probably the best person to talk to about that would have been him. So I would ask, if you haven't, go back to the archives and listen to that interview with Deej. It's brand new. Think about it when you get a new car. What's the first thing you can do? You can talk to all your friends and you show them off. Look at my fresh new car. Nobody's come out, hey, look at my fresh new car, but look at them garbage ass tires you got on there. Nobody does that. It's brand new. It's what you want to talk about. You're all excited. Mm-hmm. I really haven't seen a lot of criticism or complaints about the game. So even a couple of weeks after the launch, it's still fresh and new. There's still things that I'm doing that haven't been that pique my interest and make me want to keep playing the game. Mm-hmm. I really don't have a lot of bad things to say. Yes, I may be biased because all I do is, think, talk, play crap Destiny, but there's nothing really else. There's no bad things to talk about it. And if anything, this is probably getting the Legendary Edition. Yes, you do miss out on some of the things, but for $60, you're getting 2.5 games worth of content.
Put it this way, guys. I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game. And I've been trashing the game for a while.
Yeah, Danny trashed it for a whole year. And now he's back on the, like I said last week, he's back on the bandwagon.
And it's not about hype. It was because of the content. I think they did a better job than year one, and it just got me to play the game again.
And because we kicked him out of the raid.
No.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
Socks. That's right, socks. Anyone that knows me or follows me on social media knows I have a thing for socks. And I have to tell you guys about Mack Weldon. These guys were dope enough to send me a few pairs. And I have to say, they're the most comfortable things in the history of hosiery. Yeah, I just said that, didn't I? Whatever, I'm sticking with it. They're that good. They stay up. They have this little padding on the bottom that literally feels like little pillows for your feet. And not just that, they're mad stylish as well. They also sent me some t-shirts. I mean, who doesn't dig t-shirts, right? But these shirts are special. They have this thing called XT2 silver, which means they've got silver woven into the fabric of the shirt. And because of the silver tech in the shirts, means they're antimicrobial and anti-odor. And with Fallout 4 coming out soon, this means you can literally get lost in a wasteland for days without smelling or needing VADs to get healthy. And if that wasn't enough, if you don't dig what you get, doesn't fit right or whatever, they'll replace it or refund your money, no questions asked, or returns needed. The whole process is a breeze. Just head on over to mackweldon.com. That's mackweldon.com to place your order and get 20% off by using the promo code GTR. That's promo code GTR and save 20% right now over at mackweldon.com.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
All right, so we're back here, and now we're going to play the review from Parris, Transformers Devastation. And he's a huge fan of the Transformers. And I was like, man, this is the perfect person to review this, man. So, as a matter of fact, he was the one that interviewed the developers, Platinum Games, during E3. So let's play this review, and I believe this is for the PC. Check it out.
Hey everyone, this is Parris, Gamertag Radio. I'm here to do a review for Transformers Devastation, developed by Platinum Games and published by Activision. You can find Transformers Devastation on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and on the PC. I want to thank Activision for providing us with a PC code to do this review. Now, I'm a child of the 80s. Grew up right there in that sweet spot of 1984, 85, 86. Used to watch Transformers after school every day. So being able to play this game really took me back to that era, and I loved it. I loved it for that nostalgia. Now, speaking specifically on the game, this is a brawler. This is a melee type brawler. Think Bayonetta, which again, obviously Platinum Games, who seems to be developing everything these days, but at its core, this is a Bayonetta type game, but set in the Transformers universe. The game world itself isn't open world. It's kind of quasi open world. You do have some freedom to do things in the order that you want to do. You start off the game playing as Optimus Prime, and then you're able to unlock 4 other characters, I'd say about a good 40 to 45 minutes into the gameplay. And those other characters would be Wheeljack, Sideswipe, Bumblebee, and then Grimlock. And from that point on, you're able to choose which characters that you want to play with. I, for the majority, went with Grimlock because he just happens to be my favorite Transformer, and had a lot of fun with it. And again, the gameplay is a brawler, and the way that's working is you want to set up a bunch of combos as you're going against the various Decepticon enemies. So you're going to do just a various amount of melees with actually transforming into your alt mode to set off special combos. And at that point, you're going to be able to upgrade some of your weapon types and even get some ranged weapons as well. Now, I won't get into too many spoilers on actually some of the enemies that you'll encounter. But obviously, with this being called Transformers Devastation, Devastator is one that you can count on seeing, along with some other surprises that I was very happy to see as I was going through the game. Again, going back to the voice cast, I think the script, whoever wrote it, did a great job, because this really felt like a Transformers episode out of 1985. It really had that feel. I love the conflict that they're even setting up between Starscream and Megatron, just things of that nature. The Ark makes a return. You're going to go there to upgrade some of your weapon types, things of that nature. Now, this isn't a long game. I was able to complete it in about 5.5, 6 hours on normal difficulty. So it's not something too complex, which in my opinion is a good thing. It's not trying to be more than what it is. This is a game based off of 1980s cartoon, and it makes no bones about trying to extend it into something else, which I think was a problem with some of the previous Transformers games. It stuck to what worked about the series, and that translate over into the game. Again, had a lot of fun with it. Graphic-wise, I played on the PC. Had it maxed out at 1080p resolution. I locked it at 60 frames per second. No issues at all. I would assume on the Xbox One and on PlayStation 4, it's not going to really be an issue as well, since it's not heavily graphically intense, because this is a cel-shaded based game, and it looks beautiful. The world looks beautiful. And again, it recreates that 1980s nostalgia with Transformers Generation 1. You guys may even remember during our E3 2015 coverage, I was able to talk to a couple of developers at the time and from Platinum Games, and they also expressed pulling that nostalgia out. Now, is it a perfect game? No. Some people will complain about it being too short. As I said previously, I don't think that's that big of a deal. There are 3 difficulty settings, so there is a harder mode that I can play on, and you can replay the game going through as the other 4 characters as well. So there is some replayability there. There is no multiplayer. This is strictly a single player game, and I think for what it is fine. Again, I played this on PC. It is available on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and I believe it is priced at $49.99. So to sum everything up, great game. Had a lot of fun with it. I think for the older crowd, this will grab you on the nostalgia end, so you'll definitely want to play it to kind of relive your childhood in the 80s. And I think for the younger crowd, you're going to find some fun in the gameplay, just being that melee special combo brawler, And there, like I said, there are some limited upgrade options as well that you can tinker around with. So overall, I give this a thumbs up. I think you guys should check it out. This is Parris, Gamertag Radio. We'll give it back to the guys.
All right, shout out to Parris, and hopefully will be joining us next week on episode 511 and stuff. So anything else, guys, before we wrap it up?
I think we're good.
We're good? Awesome.
Yeah. I need to go finish The Witcher now that fancy new patch is out. All 15 gigs of it. Once I finish downloading and finally beat that damn game and catch up with Danny.
It better be a brand new game. Man.
It better fix all those quests. I'll be super mad if those quests are still glitched, but I'll get back to another.
By the way, Poston, by the time this episode is out, you're probably going to be out, right? Or I'm trying to remember the date that you actually leave.
Yes, I will be back from my super awesome adventure by the time this comes out. So,
okay, you might have a special guest on a future episode.
I might have some stuff to talk about, some guests. Still hush hush officially, but by the time you hear this, there will be some news I'll be sharing with y'all fairly soon.
All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Head over to gamertagradio.com or play.it. Listen to our past episodes or give us a call 786-273-7GTR. That's 786-273-7GTR. Or email us fanmail@gamertagradio.com. Hit us up on Twitter, where they're talking all the time. And my Twitter handle is Godfrey, or you could also add us Gamertag Radio. Pete, you want to mention yours?
My gamer tag is X Pete Rock X, same as my Twitter handle, and unless you're Parris, and he won't add me because I've got X's in it.
Okay. Paulson?
My gamer tag is Paulston J. PASTUTINJ, same as on the podcast.
Okay. It's funny because I only mentioned Twitter. You guys mentioned gamer tag. So let me mention my gamer tag. It's Godfrey. Add me there.
Oh, my Twitter's the exact same. I heard Xbox Live for some reason. Yes. They're all the same.
They're all the same. Yeah. So yeah, add us there, and also add us on Facebook. We're there, Gamer Tag Radio. Just look us up and like us. That would be great, and send us messages there too. All right. So until next time, guys, we are out. Peace in the Middle East. We are out. Latest.
You're listening to Gamer Tag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week.